We are back here on IWA Total Impact, and you're going to love this one, Don Corman. It is an Extreme Rules matchup, and there is Homicide, all set to take on Chicano.
You know, Brian, I've been looking forward to this match all night with Extreme Rules for this match. Could you please explain that?
Well, Extreme Rules means that anything goes, and it's just an extreme style matchup. They can fight anywhere, they can use anything in this matchup. It's going to be wild and woolly, and of course I already know who you're supporting because you've got your I Support Homicide t-shirt on.
Actually, Brian, I love the shirt, but as you know, impartial, don't have a favorite here, but the crowd certainly is a Chicano crowd, and they are going to be behind Chicano and not the challenger.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to this crowd, listen to the horns, listen to the support for Chicano.
They love Chicano, and he knows they do. He's just eating up all this attention. Homicide out of the ring says, I can't even wait to get a piece of you.
Referee calls for the bell right away, and this one is going to start on the outside of the ring. Look out, Chicano running Homicide into that barrier. Right into that thinly padded wall here at the baseball stadium in Catalina. It is packed to the rafters here in Puerto Rico. Look out, again having his head driven into that wall.
I think this is Chicano's way of saying, welcome to the IWA.
Well, of course, Homicide coming into the IWA challenging Chicano. He has heard about the extreme success of Chicano, and Chicano, of course, growing by leaps and bounds here in the IWA, and Homicide, here to put the kibosh on it, and he just got hit right in his kibosh with that looks like a refrigerator door, looks like a freezer door.
I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you right now, Homicide's head has got to be spinning so much right now, he wouldn't know what he's being hit with. Must feel like a truck.
Homicide, I think, trying to just get away from Chicano at this point. Look out into the people!
Oh, once again, I got to tell you, if Homicide runs any further, he's going to get a home run here in the baseball diamond.
And now Chicano sprinting back towards the ring. And he's getting a table. Chicano's got a table.
Referee checking on Homicide.
Look
Seems
at
he's
this.
had enough.
Chicano with that table. Oh, not looking good for Homicide
Homicide
whatsoever.
is hurt so bad, Brian, that Chicano is taking his time and setting him up for what looks like is going to be a torture table.
Homicide trying to get himself together here, and it may be all for naught because here comes Chicano. Chicano says, you want to challenge me? I'll teach you what it's like to be in the IWA. But look at that.
A little bit of Homicide street fighting background coming out here.
Well, oh, man, that was ugly. Very, very ugly for Chicano. Perhaps wasting too much time going to get those weapons of mass destruction done.
I think he overdid it.
Yeah, he should have paid attention to Homicide here.
Chicano, a seasoned wrestler, knows not to underestimate his opponent. Homicide seems to have found his second wind.
Uh-oh. Homicide here, measuring Chicano and letting him have it right in the side of the head.
You can hear some of the
Chicano
crowd
now.
trying to...
Oh, look at this.
Oh, someone handing a stick to Homicide.
Whoop, he missed. Uh-oh. And now Homicide going after Chicano, who's inviting him, goading him, begging him to come on up. Kick into the chest, shot upstairs. They're fighting in the crowd. They're on top of the dugout, Don Corman. For crying out loud, it's busted open here on Total Impact.
Chicano trying to fulfill his use, trying to get Homicide up into the stands where he can throw him right off.
Going for the pile driver, no.
Oh.
A reversal into a backdrop, and thankfully, Homicide with the strength to get that done. That would have been a very devastating... Oh, no.
Oh! And Chicano has his own setup used against him by the newcomer. And now we get a little bit of crowd support for Homicide, Brian.
Well, I don't know if they necessarily support Homicide, but they certainly love extreme style wrestling here in Puerto Rico.
I think Chicano, the way he hit that table, he kind of took his head to the center of the table, and ref is making sure that he's still okay.
And there's that broomstick again. Oh, man, right across the back of the head. I think it busted. I think he broke it. He broke the broomstick right across the back of the head of Chicano. And now look at this. Driving it into the man's head, into his skull. What is he doing? Looking to make.
He's got it through the strap on Chicano's headgear there, and he was trying to twist it.
And then he just pounded on the head of Chicano. That'll give you a headache anytime.
I think Chicano's reevaluating his opponent at this time.
And now, Homicide. The aptly named, I think, Homicide. And there's a wrestling maneuver right there, a hip toss. And now what's he doing? He's going over to that boom truck. Oh, he's got a cone. He's got a highway safety cone. And he just
not too much of a punishing
Chicano.
weapon. A rubber cone, not probably the best choice.
Well, nonetheless, you give it, you take that and you add it to the strength of Homicide. Putting on the brakes.
Steel serving tray. Oh my! I could hear that all the way over here, Brian. Not even over the microphones.
That tray or that lid certainly coming into play. And now, they're going onto that truck. They're going onto that crane truck. Listen to this crowd. A shot right in the front basket. Down goes Homicide. And again, a vicious right hand by Chicano. They can fight anywhere. They can fight anytime. This is extreme.
The crowd is asking Chicano to put an end to this match, to take out Homicide.
And a DDT right into that steel flatbed.
That's on the camera hoist truck, and they're wrestling right underneath our cameraman, who is precariously looking down, going, guys, please keep it down. I'm trying to shoot this event.
And now, Homicide going up after Chicano once again. Who would have thought that this particular piece of equipment would have been used as a weapon here this week on Total Impact?
Certainly our cameraman is hoping that it all stays down on the flatbed, but it looks like Chicano is trying to get on top of the boom.
Look at this now. Chicano. And Homicide is going after him. The referee saying, please, come down. But there's nothing he can do about it.
Brian, they are dangling about 3 inches from a high voltage connection.
Look at
there
this.
There are cables up there. There's hydraulic. Slams his face into the hoist.
Exchanging blows, and it looks like Chicano's going to get the best of this one. Hold on. We got to take a break. Don't go away.
Available on all streaming platforms. It's professional wrestling's greatest, largest, privately owned wrestling library. All the classic hits, flips, slams, and pins of yesteryear are on one place. It's Ultimate Classic Wrestling. Check out the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, Mr. USA Tony Atlas, Tito Santana, Rick Martel, a who's who of professional wrestling's greatest spotlight stars ever to grace the squared circle, all in one place. Grab the best seat in the house for memories and mayhem on Ultimate Classic Wrestling.
It's Extreme Rules here on the IWA Total Impact. Oh no! Chicano comes crashing down on Homicide.
Absolutely incredible. Had a little bit of time to recuperate, and now we're over to the cage.
And Chicano, with a kick right into the ribs of Homicide, grabbing that shirt now and driving his man right into that muddy, wet tarp. And now we've got ourselves a mud wrestling match.
It's just running around this entire field. They have been kicking each other back and forth all over the field. And Homicide running away, jumping over the restraining barrier.
Look at this. Chicano's got an umbrella. A fan handed Chicano an umbrella.
Just about anything out there is a weapon.
Homicide, I'm sure, is very sorry that he tried to escape into the crowd. Now back down into the field here, and Chicano having his head driven into that wall.
Now Homicide taking off. Chicano.
Now don't sell Homicide short. He certainly has a plan in mind.
And we're back into the mud.
And again,
taking his time.
it's like a hog pen match, for crying out loud. Look at these two. Now, what would your mother have said when you were a kid if you had come home looking like that, Don Corbin?
Well, she probably never would have guessed that I was taking on a newcomer to the IWA, Homicide, who thinks he's going to take down Chicano.
Oh, no! The referee! The referee was just hip tossed right into the mud, and the crowd is loving it!
I think they're a little bit split between their loyalty to Chicano and some of the exciting moves we're seeing by Homicide this evening. And finally, Brian, I forgot, there's a wrestling ring out here.
Indeed, it hasn't been put to very much use in this Extreme Rules match, and there's that lid again. Look out. Right across the back of Chicano.
Chicano not looking like he's going to be getting up right away.
Be great to be a dry cleaner here in Puerto Rico after this match.
Absolutely. Someone has to clean up this mess created by Chicano and Homicide.
And Homicide now with another lid. I'm not sure if it's a
right
lid or...
across the head. I actually think they're solid steel serving trays, Brian.
And look at Chicano. Chicano looking for something as well. And Homicide wasting time playing to the crowd. Perhaps a huge mistake by Homicide. Now, wait a minute. He's going underneath the ring. And here comes another table.
Homicide slowly learning the ins and outs of IWA wrestling. Now he's going to take time setting up the table. I hope he learned from earlier, you can't give your opponent time to regather their energy.
All kinds of very useful weapons out there. And I'm sure that Homicide is looking forward to putting this table to good use.
And of course, Brian, with Extreme Rules, anything out there that isn't bolted down is a weapon.
Yeah, really. I mean, the referee is only out there to hear a wrestler say, "I quit," or to make a 3 count.
Over the head with a highway sign.
Number 8. And I'm sure it feels like headache number 8 for Chicano. The
table is broken.
The table is broken.
Frustration.
And I think the spirit of Homicide has been broken as well. But nope, perhaps not.
Demonstrating a little ingenuity there.
Undaunted.
So there's some brains
Homicide
behind the brawn. Ooh, over the head.
And not looking good here for Homicide whatsoever. Looks like an assembly line of some kind. Look at this. Or a disassembly line, I should say.
That would be more fitting, Brian. He's up on the top rope. If he can make this work.
Are you kidding?
Oh, what a wonderful move. Homicide unable to get out of the way. And Brian, Homicide very badly injured from that.
1, 2, and only a count of 2. I thought that Chicano tumbleweed was enough to put the man away, but indeed, Homicide certainly with more gas left in the tank.
Chicano trying to turn this match around, trying to take control, keep his opponent on the defensive, and a pile driver type move into that sign.
1, 2, 3.
Chicano wins it.
Welcome to the IWA, Homicide. Now get out.
Tough victory for Chicano.
A very hard-fought and well-deserved victory by Chicano here this week on IWA Total Impact. He is muddy, he's tired, but he is victorious here on Total Impact. What a win for Chicano, and the crowd is loving it here in Catalina.
once again, Chicano coming out on top.
Take a look at the field. It looks like a tornado passed through, for crying out loud.
Absolutely, and Homicide learning some valuable lessons about the IWA and Extreme Rules matches.
Oh, hold on! Slick Wagner Brown blindsiding Chicano. Slick Wagner Brown.
Unbelievable!
What is he doing out here? Slick Wagner Brown. We saw him earlier, and now he's putting the boots to Chicano. And what for? Look at this.
It's quite possible Slick Wagner Brown doesn't like the fact that Homicide, being his first timer here at the IWA, was dealt with so harshly. Not a good idea to come out unannounced in front of Chicano's crowd. Oh, being double teamed by both of our newcomers tonight.
Obviously, neither of these wrestlers want to see Chicano continue to advance here in the IWA. They want to send a message to the people, and they certainly want to send a message to Chicano that they are here to put the stops on his success. And Chicano now being double teamed by Slick Wagner Brown and Homicide.
Right back into the table, and the referee is nowhere to be found. No one's coming out here and breaking this up. It's carnage here.
And the referee pretty much, oh, here comes Stefano. Stefano coming out now with a chair right on top of the head of Homicide. And now, right into the back of Slick Wagner Brown.
Stefano is Chicano's tag team partner coming to the rescue.
Former tag team champions, but certainly still friends. And Stefano now putting that chair to good use. It looks like a barroom brawl. We'll see you next week on Total Impact.